I'm good.
What is happening, people? Welcome
What
to
it
5Roundz.
What he does.
All right, I am One Tali. This is Over Too Nice. Today, we're going to talk about Malawian artists that could win a Grammy. Before we do that, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, right? So, this topic today, I had to bring in the heavyweights, the music giants, the people that are in music, around music, and fans of music as well. So I'm going to start with this person, right? Well-recognized DJ in Africa, now plying a trade in Europe, all right? Somebody who is really pioneering the Amapiano movement while promoting Malawian music. She's also Zimbabwean born. She will probably correct me on this one, but she is known as RJ, the DJ. What's up, man? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good.
Do you want me to correct you now or later?
You can correct me now. RJ, the DJ. Yeah, man. Welcome. So next on, we didn't just bring one person, we brought two. All right. So the next person, we had her on 5Roundz. One of the Malawian songbirds released a single called Me, You and Me, Me and You, You and Me. Oh shit, she's gonna
You and me.
Bishop Tudo. Try again. Winnie Mandela's a little. Try again.
But it's a banger. It's a banger if you ain't heard it. She's also done an album called Love from Malawi with a single titled Love from Malawi. If you haven't checked that out, her name is none other than Kim of Diamond.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should hit me with an introduction like that, man. Dang.
Yeah,
God dang.
Do you want me to start again?
No.
Yo, man, what's happening, guys? You good?
We're good.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, man. So, this year we saw the Grammys. Yeah, we saw what happened at the Grammys, with the winners at the Grammys and things like that. And I thought, look, why don't we compile a list of Malawian artists, who could win the Grammy? Because the Grammy is like an open ceremony for everyone. Because some people think it's just an American award. Yeah, it's prestigious.
Right.
Yes, it's carried out in America, but the opportunity is there for every artist. We have seen artists like Ladysmith Black Mambazo win multiple awards. We have seen Wiz Kid recently win an award. We have seen Burna Boy win an award. We even had a Malawian group called the Zomba Prison Project get nominated for an award. So it's very, very possible. So today we wanted to determine which artists could be nominated, could win, and what it takes to win the Grammys. Yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna do is sort of define who determines the winners, who determines the nominations. Yeah. How does the process work, basically, right? So the process is as follows, right? So you get so any artist can submit music, right? Any artist can submit music to the Recording Academy, who run the Grammys, right? So the Recording Academy is a group of members who consist of record label people, experts in music, people that have credentials in music to choose what's good and what's not, or what's favorable and what's not, based on what they hear and what they feel, or on whatever submission it is. So yes, it's amongst experts. These members then pass these votes to Deloitte, and Deloitte count the votes and determine the winners. So the members determine who gets nominated. Deloitte determines the winners, right? Now you're asking yourself, how do I get into this pool of voters and members and whatnot? Yeah. So first of all, you have to have music. You can't win if you don't have the music. You can't get nominated if you don't have the music. You need to submit your music to obviously the Recording Academy. Now, it needs to be of a certain quality. It needs to be so if it's a single, the length is not described specifically, so any single qualifies as long as it's of quality. If it's an album, you have to have a minimum of 5 songs that have a total playing time of 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and there is no limit to the number of songs you have in this album. All right. So what the Recording Academy does, if you put your music through and somebody has recommended you for a nomination, is the Recording Academy, upon hearing this noise of you being this nomination or the person that's so good that has to be considered, they will take your music, listen to it, and put a vote against your name if they feel you're good enough. And that is how the recording process works. I don't know if I've made any sense there.
Yeah, so far so good.
Got you.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to share the list, so the tier list and how it's going to work, right? I'm sure you guys have seen these tier lists before online and stuff like that. The way it's going to work on this specific tier list is the top one in red here is any artist that we feel could win, right? Based on the criteria we've just mentioned. And then the next one is they could get nominated, The next one is they're missing something, but they're very close. And the other one is does not meet the criteria. Here we picked a list of names and people who are in these pictures who we consider might, suit one of these criteria. So the names are Onesimus, Faith Musa, Grispa, Lucius Banda, Mr. Gillis Chiamanda, Ella Njuchi, Nandi, Black Missionaries, Zomba Prison Project, Madalito Band, Hazel Mack, Joseph Casa, Drew Moyo, Eric Palilani, Nyago, if I pronounce that correctly.
Correction, Paliani. I think it's Paliani.
Okay, sorry. So it's Eric Paliani. All right.
Yes.
Forgive me. Yeah. And then we got Nyago, Gemini Major, Zani Chale, or Zani Chale.
Zani Chalet.
Zani Chalet. Chalet, gotta put the chalet in there.
Damn, goddamn.
That's the chalet mignon. You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn.
No.
So we got Praise Umali, the very best, George Kalukusha, Masao Kochipembele, Kim of Diamonds, Tay Green, Dr. Namadingo, and Lawi. So first artist is Onesimus, right? I'll start with RJ actually. What are your thoughts? Where do you think Onesimus meets the criteria? Does he have music that is distributed out there? That is already out there, on the market. Anyone is able to buy either a physical copy or stream it on a known website, basically.
I think, okay, for me, because I knew Onesimus before he was Onesimus, while he was still operating as Armstrong. And his last album as Armstrong, I think it was titled Ndele. I believe in Ndele, Onesimus' voice broke, and he was starting to discover a certain level of music, and then he left it. Lately, if I'm honest, I have not listened to his latest releases like that. Of course, I see people that like the music, but people like different things. But with his current stream of music or with his current path of music, I find it very difficult to place him. People will request songs and you obviously play it, but then I don't think, for me, putting him on a playlist without a request is something that I would do with his current music.
Oh.
And yeah,
wow.
And there's nothing wrong with his music. His music is fine.
I know.
But it's no longer appealing to me the way music from Dele appealed to me, you see? And he did go in she did do a kind of career shift, and But for me, I don't think I would put him there.
Okay.
I
So
wouldn't put him there.
okay, so the Grammys has okay. Well, first let me start on this part. What genre do you think suits somebody like Onesimus, basically?
He's been putting out. He says it's gospel. The
Yeah.
artist has named his music as gospel. It's gospel music,
Mhm.
and I'll give him that. Many people like the songs. I remember the one of the very best songs the one of the very famous songs that he had was Miracle Money, and people loved it. And
Hmm.
then there was Solomoni and Maria. He's getting all these features. But for me, I don't think I would. If I don't think I don't see it for me, eh?
Was Panado gospel as well?
Well, it's what he's.
Panado is this one. It's Panado. Panado. To be honest, hey, I've never listened to that.
I think you could probably look at it as like what you call it, contemporary Christian or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the Christian genre where you don't really necessarily mention God, but like it leans
Like
that
the way
direction.
Lawi does it.
It's
I
on the
think it's
safe.
Yeah,
it's just
positive music.
I think it's just a confused artist because he names it gospel, but I don't think some of it is gospel. I think it's just confused because recently I seen a post about he's promoting his new album. It's meant to be a gospel album, and apparently he had very half naked dressed women on a promotion of gospel music kind of thing. So I mean, I don't think
Jesus is Lord.
I don't think the two I don't think that the two can go together. I don't think someone can say, all right, I'm singing gospel.
That's interesting.
And you know what I mean? I don't think you're gonna it's like if Nicki Minaj had that song, the way she's dressed in work, and then she's singing gospel, people will be like,
Nicki
okay,
Minaj.
no, I'm just
Doesn't
giving
Nicki
an
Minaj
example.
wasn't
No,
Nicki
but,
Minaj featured on a gospel song
yeah, but
by
no, let me.
Kasha?
Yeah, but true. But
I
what I'm trying to
think
say is, imagine she's dressed like the way she's dressed in WAP, and then she's singing
Cardi
gospel. Would
B.
you?
Cardi B.
Oh
that's
yeah, Cardi
Cardi
B.
B.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, Cardi B. Yeah, and then she's singing gospel dressed like that. What would you think? Like it. So that's what my point is. I'm just saying
Okay.
he's
Okay.
confused.
Let me. Sorry. Let me ask this question: Is he
Mm.
good enough to be considered for a Grammy? Maybe let me ask it that way.
From me, it's a no.
Okay.
I think
From
he's
you.
on blue.
He's on blue. So
He's close. He's
he's
close to
close.
something.
But something is
Yeah,
not
I think
there.
Okay. So close,
yeah,
but missing
close.
something. Go
Because
on.
like I hadn't listened to his. I really liked Armstrong's like music before he became Onesimus, and then I gave Onesimus a chance because I was like, okay, let me listen to this new music that he's making. And I think I heard Panado and Solomoni, and some of them, they really stick in your head. They have all the elements of what a song should be to get the people paying attention to you. Do you know what I mean? Because I
Mm,
think like as an artist, you kind of have to make different types of music. I don't think he's probably arrived where he really wants to go yet, but I
mm.
think he's kind of reading the current trend to say, okay, it's Afro pop and Afro beats. So let me take that, let me mix it with positive messages and not necessarily mention God, because if you mention too much God as well, you limit your airplay. But he brands himself as a gospel artist. So I think he's probably experimenting with his positioning. So I would put him on that blue tab.
Missing something, but close. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move it along to Mr. Faith Musa, aka
Ooh!
aka Ndidi. Since we're on you, Kim, let me know what you think. Could
For
Faith
Faith?
Musa, could he win? Could he get nominated? Is he missing something, or does he not meet the criteria? I'll tell you one thing: he definitely missed the criteria, so we can't even go there. Go on.
I'll put him on number 2. He could win. I feel like with Faith, he's definitely figured out, what works for him, and he's also having fun experimenting between fusing Malawian sounds and the current hits. I don't know if you've checked out his YouTube videos.
Yeah.
He does that as well. but also his live performances are just so amazing. And I feel like he also performs on certain stages that would connect him with the people that might know who is what at the Grammys. So I think he's like in a position to win because he networks properly, and I think his record label as well gets him in the right places. So I think he's on that trajectory. And like I said, his live performances are incredible. So if he was to win, it would make sense, because if you watch them live, you're like, oh yeah, it marries that he makes that kind of music and he's a great performer as well. So yeah.
Okay, so are we gonna put him on the could get nominated or could win?
Could get nominated. I'll give him a couple of years maybe, but yeah.
Okay. Could get nominated. Okay. I think I feel the same way. I'm actually a little bit more. I think he could win because of the genre that he does.
Yeah,
it's quite unique, and it's very well connected to the roots. And also, he modernized the sound. So
yeah,
that mixed with him being out there. So again, with the Grammys, you have to be out there. So you have to be well publicized. If I look up your name, what have you done? Where have you been? What have you achieved? Sort of thing. He's one of the artists that's really ahead when it comes to things like that. He's done tours in Europe, and he's been featured on very specific albums that are outside of the country. So I don't know. For me, I put him on the could win, but hey, you ladies said could get nominated. Mr. Ovi, what do you think?
I'll just put him to could get nominated.
Okay.
Maybe, unless it would be a wrong understanding for me. Like, I haven't really much heard of recent features that he's done on recent music of Faith Musa. He is really good. He's good for the music that I know of and listen to. They reach that level where you say, all right, this can be a Grammy nominee. But for recent, I can't really say much. So I would only cut on to say, yeah, he could get nominated. Or that now I'm grading upon the tunes that I know of the past, not the recent ones. As you're saying, he's been on recent features internationally and all that kind of way,
Yeah, dope ones.
Yeah, he has. Okay, so moving on to Mr. Grisva.
Woo!
Ooh, this guy has a lot going on.
It's my turn, isn't it?
It's got a lot going. I can't get enough of you.
What are you saying?
Hey,
to start off, guys, with Grisva, right? I never really heard of the guy, but when we approached him and we had him on 5Roundz for an interview, and it got me, before we had him for an interview, it got me to go through his music and research more and see what is done and all that, and even chatting with him, and he told us different type of things, and we're like, oh wow. I think he is on the route where he could actually win. It's not okay, we can't say next year, because I think he's doing something that's very, very unique, especially as a Malawian artist. In general, even I can say as an African artist. He has gone into a genre where I don't think 3 years ago in Malawi we could listen. I'll say, okay, I'll say maybe 10 years ago, I couldn't listen to that genre. But when I moved to Europe, you're like, yeah, because all the time you listen to music, what's this? This is, and there's still people today, I would say, in Africa, they listen to that, now, this is crap. But I realize now that that type of music can play internationally anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. He has music, some songs that you could put in a club in Europe, in America, and people will dance to it.
That's interesting.
That's true.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because he's doing that electric
EDM.
sound. That
He's doing the EDM.
I don't think the EDM. I don't think I've seen any Malawian who's doing that type of EDM.
EDM. Okay.
Nah.
There are a couple, but not his type. You're right.
Yeah.
Just to add on to what you've said, I really like the cinematic feel he's added.
Yeah.
Like when you listen to his recent release, it really has a very cinematic. Like you can put his music to cinema, which is precisely the direction that when you listen to some of these Grammy award-winning songs, some of them, they're the types of songs you can kind of turn into a soundtrack. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They like have a story, a heavy story to tell, and I
Yeah.
think that definitely fits the bill. The whole Viking
Viking kind of thing,
The Viking theme,
the Viking, exactly, an African exploring that. So yeah, and he also had an interesting interaction on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, where someone was like, "Oh, you know, why would he win?" or something like that. So he went on there to say, whether you believe, you know, in my dream or not, I'm still gonna go at it. It's mine. I can still make it. Because there was also a time where this story about Grammys was happening. It was like, oh, and he was like, I'm gonna win a Grammy, and people like, I almost think people take offense if you're like confident in the path you're on. Like, I want to win a Grammy. You might not evaluate. It doesn't matter. But I want to win a Grammy, and that's good enough for me. Whether it's for superficial reasons or, you know, for my country or whatever, it's my dream. So yeah, Grisva. I would put him on where? On Lou.
What do you think? So Kim says Grisva is here, missing something, but you know, but he is close. What do you guys think? Ovi, what do you think?
I put him on win. I put him on he could win. It's not today, it's not next year, but the path he's going, I just know that thing he's doing, the more he does it, he's gonna be so good at it that like as you're saying, it's exposure of what he's doing. It can be exposed anywhere. You know, if you take a song, like there's certain songs of people we have you on the list that if you play them to someone who is not from Africa, they're gonna be like, what's that? You know? And I know so about that, but what he's doing is type of stuff that it will be first anyone can receive it as normal anywhere internationally, anywhere. There's someone that can listen to it even if they're not African. You know that kind of way? So I just think his kind of exposure is so good with what he's doing. If he continues, he's gonna be so great at it and he could win.
But you see, the genre that he's in is dance and EDM, isn't it? So it's something that Black Coffee just won as well.
Yes.
You know, but you have to notice what he had to do to win that award as well. You know, the people that he's associated with just to win the award itself, the people that he worked with, some of them Pharrell and stuff like that. Do you think, say, the current winner now could go against Grisva and Grisva could win, you know, or even could get considered for a nomination? Because remember, it's 5 people who get nominated per category as well. So, Ovi, are you sure he could win?
Yeah, see, but the thing is, I don't want. That's what
he says not today, though.
Not today.
Maybe not today. So let's leave Ovi on that one.
Yeah, that's what my point.
He will win, right?
He will win. That's why my point. My point is, I want to say, if he continues what he's doing, he's gonna get so good at it.
I totally got it.
He's gonna have the chance of winning. You know, he's not.
Yeah,
today, he's in that process.
Okay, so he's in the okay. So I'm guessing you agree with what Kim says. He's missing something, but he's close, or you're sticking to could win.
I'm sticking to could win. This is gonna be on YouTube. It's just on YouTube, and we'll come back one day. People will look at this video like, Ovi too nice said this. You know what I mean?
I thought you're sticking to your guns. Go ahead.
Cool. RJ, what do you think?
I agree that if he is to work on it, if he is to continue digging it up and working on what needs to be worked on, finding the right connections, refining his sound, getting the right features onto his music, and you know, like Asha, but not Asha, but Black Coffee had Asha in his last album. La 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 is like my favorite song. And many people don't really know that song, but then when you play it in a club, it comes out, and you're like, oh, okay, that's Black Coffee. So I really believe, and the thing is, you don't hear Black Coffee in his songs. You hear his features, you know.
Yeah.
So I believe that pretty much like how David Guetta was or is. You don't know David Guetta, but then you know the people that he has featured, Kelly Rowland, Black Eyed Peas, and then I think if he is to work on that, Christopher, he's got a chance. He just has to refine it. There's some work to be done, and I
Okay.
think that's where the something missing is, that he needs to put in that work to get to where he needs to be.
Okay. So for you, it's something missing but close. Yeah.
Yeah, something missing but close. Just that it needs refining, it needs tuning, but he's there.
Okay.
He's on the path.
Okay. I'm on the could get nominated. I actually think he could get nominated simply because of
Yeah.
how different his music is. Yeah.
Mm.
He's in EDM and he's in dance. That's one thing. But then the recent album that he did, that sorry, what is it called?
Night
Night
of
of Long.
yeah, long
No.
I
night.
don't know, guys.
Yeah,
Night of
long night.
Long Knives. That's the one.
Mm.
The whole Viking theme to it. For somebody coming out of
That was
Malawi.
some Valhalla stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the process he explained, getting the scores out of the person who actually did Vikings as well. So it sounds like a Viking themed album. For me, that's dedication. And then the quality and standards were high. So could get nominated definitely. If you listen to his album, you'd go, "Ooh, okay, I haven't heard this before, or I haven't heard something like this before." So, but then the majority says he's missing something. So, Mr. Grisfa, you're on missing something, but close. Don't worry. Don't take that as a negative. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. Right. The next person is the legendary Lucius Banda. Right. So,
Woo.
Mr. Lucius Banda. I will start with Ovi actually. So, Ovi. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Where would you put Lucius Banda? Does he meet the criteria? Is he missing something? Could he get nominated or could he win?
Oh, guys, I think to me personally, I think it's past the time and chance of him to be nominated or win.
Okay.
Why? Unless my understanding is a bit wrong, for you to be now to be going towards nomination, it means he has to have projects, right?
Yeah, the recent projects, yes.
Yes, you know what I mean? You look at Lucius Banda, yes, great artist. He's a legend, all right? He's a legend. So meaning whatever he has as legendary music is no longer, can never get a chance anymore now because there's more content coming. When was the last time now he has produced something as great as we know Lucius Banda now? You know what I mean? And to see his age, I will put it on a no. And that's realistic. I'm not saying anything. That's not a negative to say no, he's not good enough. Yes, he was good enough, but now the whole scenario of music has just changed to that of what.
So
what?
I'm gonna agree with Ovi on that one.
Okay.
I think he's a legend, absolutely. But then again, what I guess for me it's one of those things where if Anjelique can win, and obviously she's been in the game for some time as well.
Yeah.
She's won it a couple of times.
Yeah.
She figured out the formula. But with what Ovi is saying as well, to say maybe it probably is too late to make those connections enough to convince I guess that group of people that his music is world music, if that makes sense. And also for me, I
world
think
music though. Is
but
it?
that's the other thing. I was gonna say that's the other thing where that's where we're forced to have a conversation about sometimes we're making music, however, it maybe just only appeals to Malawians. It wouldn't appeal to a wider audience. Like and it's not to say it's not good, but it's to say it's got a limited flavor to it that might limit it or work in its advantage depending on the connection. So yeah. RJ, what did you want to say?
No, my question was that is it world music? Because we need to understand that as much as we are all doing music and music is great, but not all of it is exportable like that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I this is me like hoping nobody's going to come for my head.
No.
Right? It's like
I agree. I agree
respectfully.
Yeah, it's respectfully. Like if let's say Grammys, let's say they were called Malawian Grammys, right?
Yeah.
Malawian Grammys. Yes, we would put him on there. But on a worldwide spectre, I don't think he gets there. I don't think it's not. I don't even think he's part of that conversation. He's got
Nah.
great music, but
Yeah.
then if you look at this is where people okay, you have compared like with Anjelique Kidjo. Probably they have the same time frame going on, but
Yes, they
then
do.
But Angelique
Angelique
has
Angelique
recent
music
releases.
like that what is it Agolo, the Agolo song Agolo Agolo Agolo.
Tune.
Mm, mm,
That song is it's exotic. I
mm.
think that's the best
Yeah,
way.
It
And
goes
then you
beyond.
could
do
hear
that way.
see jacuzzi, see Motorola,
Yeah, you'd be
and
like, okay, what
like
story here? You're like, okay, what are you talking about?
Love
it's
that.
not, you know, even like the Angola song, the people will be just like Alio, I we don't even
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
know
we
what
don't
she's
know what it
saying,
means,
but
Yeah,
then
but
we are
Yeah,
the harmony is what gets to
it's in
us, you
there.
know, the
Yeah.
yeah.
Alio, I now see jacuzzi ja
You're like,
Kutugayimbe
you're like, what?
in a club in New York City. People will
People
look
like,
at you like,
people,
hey.
people
But if
like,
I'm telling you, if I play Agolo in a New York City club, it's gonna bang.
yeah, exactly. Now
This
see,
yeah.
this
people be
woman
like,
has
did this guy just say Motorola?
this
What?
this woman has chosen violence.
He just said
Well,
Motorola. What
I
you
think
talking about?
for me, Lucius Banda, as much as he's a great legend. He's given Malawi great music.
Mm.
But I think also for him, he wasn't work. I don't think he was working
International level.
on an international level.
He
He
knew his
wasn't
crowd.
looking. Yeah, he
Mm.
wasn't looking to
That wasn't
export.
his crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't working to export, and I think that's why I would put him on a wouldn't win because
Wouldn't win now.
that's not what he was
So
looking at when he was working with his music.
I like
so
that.
Mm.
does not meet the criteria. Yeah,
Does
does
not
not
meet
And
the
meet
I
the
think
criteria.
criteria.
I think that's an interesting point, Jay, to make. Especially nowadays, we have these different types of Malawian artists who are creating different types of music now, and it's like coronavirus kind of leveled the playing field for
Mm,
everybody,
mm,
established or upcoming. It don't matter anymore. But then
mm.
the most important question is, what is your target market? Are you just wanting to be Malawian, or you also want to be Malawian and international? Or maybe you're just interested in Malawi and the African region. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about covering being a global artist. It's about being in the markets that are going to support you for real. So
Yeah,
maybe
Yeah.
that
yeah.
might not include the US or the UK, but maybe it includes the whole of Africa. So I think
Correct.
it's an important point to consider, especially for
Absolutely.
those who want to aim for the Grammys as well, to say, okay, cool. How are you
How
angling yourself?
that is
Yeah.
correct. That is correct. How relevant are you outside of your comfort zone?
Yes,
That's
outside
the
the
important
sphere.
part. That's an important point, and it's a very good point that RJ raised as well. So, guys, so do you agree that Lucius Banda falls in the does not meet the criteria section? Yeah.
Does not
No,
meet
it doesn't.
criteria.
And
Okay.
actually, and while you're putting Lucius Band on that, just take
Yeah.
Lucas and put him on that list. You know,
And who?
I just
Joseph
said
Joseph
Lucas,
forgot
I just put him there because we're not even going to go there.
Wow.
Sorry, Joseph. Sorry, Joseph. Good
Sorry,
music,
Joseph.
but once again,
Respectfully.
same thing.
Like,
Maybe
come on,
while we
Punosanota, Ukalozeda Sununka, come on.
while we're
Hey, like,
No,
whoa.
but I think you know
Right
what?
now.
yeah.
I I think Ovi is right because again, Nkasa's criteria is pretty much the way Lucius was, that their target market has always been the average Malawian
Yeah,
ear,
you know what I mean?
you know? So I don't think Nkasa also has
Yeah.
that that thing.
Mhm.
He doesn't
Mhm.
have that
Mm,
thing
Nah,
that we can put him out on a global market the way we
nah.
would put any other Malawian artist.
If
They are
if you
great
put
artists, they're legends,
yeah.
they deserve their flowers. But if we're
that's
real and if we're honest,
nah.
we can't put them over there.
If
I think
if
they're
you
all on yellow.
if you put
Okay.
Nkasa at the tavern, he's on fire. So you can't put him in
Yeah.
here. I know.
Okay. Okay. While we're here, right? I wanted to ask about two artists in this list. We have
Mhm.
Mr. Gilles Jalamanda and Black Missionaries. Now, both of
Mm.
probably the same age, maybe Gilles just before, right? What categories do these two fall under, or is it a
Fall
different
into.
story? for these guys?
For the Black missionaries, um, uh, Black missionaries, I think, hey, it's a difficult one. It's a
It's a
difficult one
tough
because
one.
the way I see like the Black missionaries, if you had to put them in a festival,
They'll rock
on
it.
on an international festival, I think
I think
they would hold their ground. I think.
yeah, they've been at first
Yeah,
festivals. They've been there,
yeah.
you know.
I
So
think if
yeah.
you had to put them, I don't know if if I don't know if I should say Coachella stage. I don't know if that's the right one, but they have. If you had to put them on in a reggae festival or something, they could hold their ground. I believe.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I haven't
I don't
watched
know
them
if
live for me to know. But
they
yeah.
would hold their ground with original songs though.
Oh, okay, okay, and
I
that's the
don't know
important
if
part.
yeah. I don't know if they can hold their ground with their own songs.
Mm.
Um, they in Malawi, when there's Black missionaries, you are guaranteed packed.
Oh
Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't
definitely.
I don't believe
And they
in
play
seeing
for
any
hours, yeah?
and
Wow.
they play
That's
for
like
hours.
that's
They've got a great
endurance.
band. That's one thing I can give them. Their band is great.
Brilliant, brilliant band. Yeah.
They catch on to songs pretty quickly, but I don't know where I would place them with their original content.
Mm.
Yo. This
Yeah,
woman is.
I'll put them in the yellow bracket,
You
to
put
be
them in the
honest.
straight away. Killer. Hi, yeah.
God
Yeah,
damn,
because
God damn.
and again, the thing is like it's not that they're not legendary, it's just that to be honest, like the market on the real, the market out
Insane.
there is insane.
Mm.
Mhm.
Like there are people you think I'm talented, there are talented people. And I know you're not supposed to look at yourself that way, but that is the reality that forces you to put in the necessary work
Mm.
towards the direction you want to take with your music. You have to be realistic to say, I'm good, but there's definitely better.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's like yes, they're legendary at home, but if you put them with the rest of what's going on out there, for me it's like I think their sound would get lost in the sauce
Yeah.
of that.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
again, you're great at
Emotional
home,
damage.
but international is like different for
That is emotion.
everybody.
That is
Emotional.
emotional damage.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. That's no. Yeah. Look, for me, I looked at one thing. For me, they tick every box apart from one. Yeah, and
which one?
I could have gone as far as they could get nominated, right? Until I heard RJ, of course, which she's right. But then again, they look at. I don't think that factor about whether these songs are their own, because I'm guessing you're alluding to the fact that most of their songs came from Everson Matafari, basically. Is that
No,
what
no,
you're?
no. I'm saying as in covers. They're good with
Oh, okay,
covers.
they do a lot of covers, yeah.
Covers. But then their original question, "Adalo ndiwe Congo." That if you play that at a reggae festival, that would work. I
Yeah.
believe it
Mm.
would, like, with the band and everything, it would work. But I don't think it's enough to get you onto a Grammy list. I
Jeez.
don't think so.
I was gonna go. I was gonna go. Could get nominated on this one, but apart from one thing though, they
Mhm.
haven't had, well, I guess, a recording or anything on a recognized platform since 2014. So which
True.
means it rules them out. It puts them in the Lucius Banda category here, where
Mm.
you are good. You can get recognized. You had a platform, but you've got nothing to go with right now. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, I think for this one, my opinion does not meet criteria is where they are, but they are pretty good. So I'm just gonna shift them there real
Put
quick.
them on the yellow.
Put them in the yellow. Sorry guys, sorry my blacks, big fan, but
And I believe you had put on Giddis as well. I think
correct.
I would put him in the same bracket as well.
Now
Yeah.
my question is
Doesn't
my question
Yeah,
is
uh-huh.
but
why? Why?
on the Guinness
Why?
thing, on the
Mm.
Guinness, what we're trying to see, to me, what on Guinness, yeah. Before you answer the why,
Actually,
we're just thinking of the
That's
recent.
why I asked why. This is why I asked why, but go on.
if you look at the recent, you know the mashup we did with Namadingo, right?
Yeah.
Guys, do you know, for example, did you know if Malawi right now had monetized YouTube, right? Guinness would be sitting on nearly to about $2 million US.
Wow.
It depends. It depends on where the video was uploaded as well. Because if you upload it in Europe, it's a different rate. America, different rate.
But that I'm just calculating it on the rate when one of the guys
That says a lot, the
from
possibility of
America.
it.
Yeah, when he calculated it from monetizing on, let's say if it was in America, it was uploaded through American monetized. We're looking at about 2 million you'll be sitting on right now. If even
Correct.
Malawi had nearly to that, even if we had our monetized, our YouTube monetized. But one my point is, because the exposure was so good, everybody can relate to that song, even though they didn't hear what you're talking about.
Well published.
Yeah.
Yes.
Across the world as well. You know.
Yeah, the publishing, huh? The publicist job.
Because we shouldn't just look at albums, look at singles too.
Yeah.
You know,
singles
too. So for this case though,
Leave me alone.
You see, even you go on TikTok. You go on TikTok.
That was wild on TikTok. It caught fire.
You're seeing people from America, from England, from wherever the world doing lip singing that and white, black, Chinese, Indian. I've seen loads of the TikToks.
Now,
so I think what that says is like if you get the right producer to back you up, and then you get that onto the right platforms to write about you, because and it's also about the story you're telling. This is something I'm also figuring out as an artist. What story are you telling? Is it powerful? And in his case, is actually very, very powerful. You know, and I think that would put him in that possibility of actually being considered. But a lot of work would have to be done. But I'll still leave him on the yellow one though.
Really?
Despite that.
Emotional damage.
Okay. So Kim says Miss does not meet the criteria. RJ does not meet the criteria as well.
Does not meet the criteria. I think because we need to look at it from all angles, not just what type of music it is, but then what kind of work has been put it out there. And these guys, our legends, great as they are, their work in terms of distribution has always been in-house and not and never on an outer level. And I guess that is what that is what keeps them, that what holds them back. But then we can't blame them also, being that where we know where we are coming from.
Yeah.
We know the kind of opportunities that we have and how hard it is to even step out of the country. So just to go next door, even just go and play in Mozambique or in Zimbabwe, we already know how hard that is. So we can't blame them. It really is not their fault where they're coming from. These guys have got like 47 albums under their belts each, man. These guys have got like a whole lot of music out there. But because of the way things have been and their distribution, it kind of puts them at a disadvantage.
Okay. So I wanted to go back to the criteria, right? And why I think there's a possibility of him getting nominated, just like that Zomba prison project got nominated, right? These are people. So the people in the prison were sat in a cell. There's no way they could have publicized their material. There's no way that they would be in the ear of the members of the Recording Academy. But yes, what convinced people was the album. They had a few songs to go with it. It wasn't just that one song, right? So it gave them a stronger case. If that makes sense. In Mr. Giddis's, on his side anyway, in his defense, right? This recent song, it is a remake, which means it was re-recorded, right? So then it missed the first one of the rules that were put in by the Grammys. The song has to be recorded recently, basically. So I think it has to be within 5 years of the release date, right? The recording quality as well, it meets that. The length of it meets that too. It has to be distributed within a certain amount of time. This one song meets that, but because the publication was not enough, it probably wasn't considered, right? That's what I think. Or nobody really pushed it that far, which brings it to
Yeah.
Kim's point. I just wanted to highlight that. So yes, we will put it in the does not meet criteria. Yeah, but I think this one is quite unique. It's a very, very unique
It
one.
is.
If
I think
I'm
it has
to
a strong
say,
story.
Mm.
sorry, if I'm to say, for the prison guys, if I believe their music was taken by somebody out of here
Yes.
and was submitted on their behalf, yes,
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
that was their advantage.
Mm.
You see, they were sitting in a cell, but they had somebody that worked on their behalf to get their music submitted.
That is true.
So with these guys, they are out here, they are working, but still, in terms of publicity and distribution, nothing was
Mhm.
done to get it outside of Malawi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Jeez.
see, you are
Some-
not putting, you're not putting on Spotify, AudioMac, or wherever. We find you on
Boom
MalawiMusic.com,
play.
and and that
Wow.
kind of slows you down. You see,
Wow.
Says a
prison
lot.
band, prison band, they caught an ear. Someone felt goody, okay, I found some gold. And they took the gold and went and helped them publicize,
Mm.
distribute, put it out there, give what it needs to be done. But unfortunately, for those that were putting on this yellow box, they don't have that for them. They didn't have someone go like, ooh, Damuva, I'm going to take Lucia's song and
And submit it.
I'm going to go and make sure or try to get it submitted out there and put it on the various platforms. Pretty much like the way Faith Musa is being done. He was
Mm.
discovered here. He has been on Lake of Stars. He's been on Lake of Stars in England. Like, his distribution is starting to work.
Glastonbury. Did he not play Glastonbury? Or was that in my head?
I think so. I
I
think it
think
did.
so, if I'm not mistaken. But he has been on the international platform
Yes.
because he has been noticed. Now his music is out there to be heard. His last album, Kalilima, we're actually talking about it. We're like, okay, Kalilima is really it's really tuned in to the I'm trying not to use this word, but for lack of a better word, please excuse me. For lack of a better word,
Okay.
Kalilima is tuned into the expert ear.
Mm.
Okay.
That's an interesting point.
Kalilima
Wow.
Kalilima was not tuned in for the local ear, for the local Malawians. It is Malawian songs, yes. They are sang in Tichewa, Alidele, Kwanu ndi Kwanu, but
Mm.
he actually said that there's supposed to be an album that he will release of the same songs, but with a more Malawian mainstream feel. This one was not for the Malawian mainstream; it was for the expert ear.
That's so interesting. That's an interesting conversation, observation. I haven't listened to it, and I think that's how most Grammys albums work.
Mhm.
Like it's a low key kind of submission, and it's like, wait, who won what?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
like that. That's an interesting observation.
Very good. I mean, we were stuck on the Zomba Prison Project. They are on our list. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think that the Zomba Prison Project either meet the criteria today? Like, if they were do they meet the criteria? Are they missing something? Could they get nominated again, or could they win? What do you guys think?
Well,
Zero.
today I have not heard any new music coming from them,
Forget
but
about it.
already they have met the criteria. They have been nominated, so these guys can still walk on the orange box to the red
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they could. So what you're saying is
that's
they
the
could get.
advantage they have for sure.
Yeah.
I would
They'll,
keep them in the orange box. They've already been nominated. Keep them there, and hopefully they can work it to the red.
okay. So they can get
Oh,
nominated
With
again.
the
Yeah.
right producer and the
So-
same
Yes.
guys to submit.
So
Maybe
the
this time the stories could be different because what I've also noticed with the current winners, the Wiz Kids, the African sound has changed so much, and even the African listeners as well. We just don't want to hear sub stories anymore, and this goes for everything. And even the "We Are the World" songs, like that era is almost kind of gone. Like these days, if you really want to make a good advocacy song, it has to be legendary proportions. So I think
Yeah.
again, it comes down to the producer and the direction. or how they're gonna put a twist on how they write. Because I think the storytelling is on point for sure.
Mhm.
You know, so yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Like it.
Interesting.
So our next artist is Njuchi. Right? Njuchi, the young man who has taken Malawi by storm. His genre is dancehall, right? And pop, Afro pop, should be.
Afro pop, yes.
Yeah.
Afro pop. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, Ovi.
First of all, as long as the moment you just put him in that genre, you do realize who he's gonna be going against, right?
Who's he going against? Wiz Kid.
He's gonna be going against the likes of Wiz Kid and all them. This is what we're talking about.
Zotera.
Mm.
It's possible.
Bugger him in there.
If he has a good album,
I would put him at the blue section just to give him, you know, some
Motivation.
more pressure. But I really, for real, I would put him in the same category as what he said about Grisba, to say, yo man, he is like on the right track. Yeah, he could definitely, and we're gonna see obviously how his journey goes. But I like the fact that, you know, he's a young guy and the people in Malawi love him.
Yeah.
And when you look at his statistics on Spotify and stuff like that, the numbers as well show that it's not just like 5 people who are really feeling his sound, which means that it has that international feel to it already. So yeah, I think he's in that blue section for sure.
okay.
Excited for that journey. Yeah.
He has people flying into Malawi to watch him play, you know. So
That's insane. Or even the idea of, if you were to put him on an international stage, you would be happy that he's representing you.
Yeah.
Based off the performances I've seen of him, I wouldn't be like, damn. You know, I'll be like, we're good. I'll be like, we're fine. Yeah. You can put it.
No one left.
You could put it with the Raymers, you know, that lineup, and he would fit in just fine. It wouldn't be like awkward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you've heard Raymond's music and, you know, the Bantas, the what, yeah, the A-stars, A-Ra stars. Anyway, that's my 5 cents.
Okay.
To it.
Ovi, do you agree?
Yeah, let it go. I agree with it. So
I think I agree as well. as well. So the next person is Dr. Namadingo himself, Mr. Namadingo, right?
Could get nominated.
The flavor.
I think Ovi is right. Ovi is right. Namadingo is putting in the work, if we're honest. He is putting in the work.
He's putting himself in the frame.
Yeah. And you know, once you put in work like that, it's very hard to not be noticed.
Yeah.
And with his recent signing, man is on the track. Man is on his way.
Yeah.
Because I'll give another example about him, right? He's managed to outstand most every artist in Malawi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then managed to go to another country, which is Zambia, and also do the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more than an answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Very
orange box, the man. Put him in the orange box.
Yeah.
Now, can we circle in on that point to say, you know, that's how, as artists, you're supposed to present. Like, if you can win at home and abroad,
then
you've sorted it out. If you're just like winning at home and that's it, then you're kind of like limiting the possibilities of what the world could be. And I feel like most of the times, maybe we have most Malawian artists who'd rather focus on home because maybe they don't think the global market can be theirs, or maybe because they haven't seen it being done before. But now that they see, wow, Namadingo has done it, then damn, I could do it. That's when you see that. That's why we have all these conversations about representation matters. When you see someone who has the characteristics like you winning, you definitely feel like you can do it and more. So I'm happy for Namadingo. He's like showing us Malawians that, yo, you don't have to have a little, small
A bigger
vision.
picture.
Yeah,
Look at the
love that.
look.
I'd put him in the blue.
You put him in the blue. You put
Are you
Namadingo in
putting
the
him in
Yeah,
blue.
blue, not in orange? I'm
yeah,
putting him in
blue,
orange.
I'll put him in orange,
blue,
man.
I'll put him in
blue,
orange too.
because I'll put him in blue because yes, he's got the connections are going, his songs are dope, right? But for me personally, I still feel like there are some of his songs that sound a bit repetitive. So he's
Okay.
yet to like
That's
continue to
true.
stretch himself. So I'll put him in the blue just to say I'm looking forward to hearing what else he's going to experiment with and how different that's going to sound like. Still him, but different from what we've heard, the melodies we've been hearing. Because to add to that, I feel like some of those melodies are more appealing to the Malawian audiences. But now that he's gone to Zambia, his melodies are changing as well so much more. And now that he has this deal with Universal, I
Mhm.
also expect that his melody selection and lyric selection is going to change. So I'll put him in blue.
Wow.
Yep.
You know,
Got it.
I agree with Kim
Huh?
that his melody selection needs to get a little bit wider. He needs
Okay.
to he needs to go on a broader. He needs to go a little bit broader and find new music, new feels, new harmonies, new melodies.
Mm,
Find something out of his out of his comfort, because I think he's singing in his comfort.
mm-hmm.
I really believe that he needs to jump out of his comfort. I think he did some medleys in the at some point that were there. I think they still felt safe. I think he needs
Mm,
to make himself feel uncomfortable and really check out something that he has never done before, and we can
yeah.
see from there. So I agree
Okay.
with him actually. He's on the track. He's going there. Nothing is missing as per se, but I think some work needs to
Yeah.
be done.
Oh my
Some work
goodness.
Because
needs to
I've
be
watched him
done.
live as well, and it's really good live. Like he definitely represents. You can send
Hmm.
him out there and be like, represent Malawi, and you're good.
And you
So
know that he will do it. Yeah.
Guys,
yeah, for
this
real.
this is the first artist you've devoted, guys. We started here and now we're going down here. Go fuck yourself.
No, he's good. He's good. We're for him, but we
You
just
ain't
want
giving
to
him a
see
chance,
something.
bruh.
We just want
Mm,
to see something different.
okay.
Yes.
We would like
Ovi.
to see something different from him. We've seen the very same things
I
from him. We
think
want something different.
he
He's
could be nominated.
For
okay.
me,
He
for me,
could.
the interesting thing for me, I feel like he has the potential to secure the diamond platinum's kind of like energy. But
Yeah.
I think that comes down to the sound he's gonna work on in the next couple of I don't know months or years. But he could totally do it. Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he really wanted to, and if he maybe I don't know. I think this is the part where we bring in songwriters. Usually that's what happens when you have
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
deal as big as that. You bring in songwriters so they can force you to push your muscles and
Your brand. Yeah.
woo, there you have
Very,
it. So yeah, we're excited. I'm
very,
excited to see what going on next for him.
yeah, very, very good point. Very good points there. So, Ovi, you agree with the ladies, or do you have anything different?
No, 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 no. I already said where I want him to be. He's got to give a chance.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Nandi, right? So, Nandi,
Ooh!
Woo,
this,
Nandi!
this is your nomination, RJ. So thoughts, RJ. Nandi, where should she be?
Nandi. Whew. Nandi
Go
has
on,
got
girl.
talent, guys. Nandi has got
Mm,
talent. She's got a voice. She needs the right person to. I think the only thing, if I'm not mistaken, Nandi couldn't really push because of school. If I'm not mistaken, she
mm-hmm,
couldn't go any further. She couldn't like continue with the music as she would like to. I believe. I'm not sure. I could be corrected. But
Mhm.
Nandi, I'll put Nandi in the blue box.
Whew, Nandi's
okay.
in the blue.
I'll
Okay.
put Nandi in the. Okay. The reason why I'm putting Nandi in the blue box is that there's no box between the blue and the orange. And, and this one is there's no, yeah, because that box that I want in the middle is the one that very possible to get nominated. You just need to be on the right track.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay.
exactly have something missing. Again, many don't have something missing. They just need the fine tuning. You just need to meet the right person to put you there.
Okay.
So I think
I put it in blue.
the one thing that's missing probably is the right person to fine tune you, to give you
Yes.
your vocal lessons, put you in the nice studio, give you the nice encouragement, put you in the right spaces. But as for her, I see her. She can go. She can literally be in the orange and red if she was just given that chance. That chance. That person.
Absolutely.
Just
Okay.
give
And
Mandy
I
that.
wanna like just relate that as well to Amanda Black, if you've heard her. Oh,
Yes.
girl.
Amanda Black.
Amanda Black, when she sings, it's like, oh my God. And I feel like it's the kind of genre that Nandi fits in so well in, like the ballads and the songs that bring out her voice so much, and the storytelling voice kind of songs as well. I'll put her in the blue because I feel like probably what she needs is just like a team, like RJ has says, a team, and just let's do this, and know the right people. She could totally do it. Yeah.
Is he a rapper? Or is he a singer? Or like he considers himself as a rapper? But if he's gonna,
As an entertainer.
yeah, he's an entertainer. That's it. He's not a rap because if he has to say he's a rapper, he's going against the likes of Kanye West and all them, and like his rap is, I mean, nowhere close to that. These two personally, I think you guys do this because you love it, you're good at it, but you don't push that extra mile to say that, okay, I'm looking to really be there. You know, like put it, yeah, like, no, you don't look like to put it as, I want to make this as my full-time career.
Like how many artists do you know in Malawi that have their own website? How many?
Donde.
Hey,
bro. Be closest to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think out of everyone.
He deserves it as well, eh? So
Can I ask, so what genre would you go into?